We're at Bellingham's Bakerview Nursery with Dave Egbert, aka the Coastal Gardener. You can see Dave 6:30 a.m. in the morning on Tuesdays and at 1 p.m. Saturday afternoons on KVOS. And Dave and I are discussing the importance of buying at local nurseries today.
Right, and that's why we came here to Bakerview, because that's what's so important about local nurseries. And I think that a lot of people don't realize it. They think, oh, a plant is a plant. But you know what? There's a lot of reasons why you want to buy at your local independent garden center. First of all, of course, because it's a variety. There's so many more interesting, beautiful plants for you to choose from at a local independent nursery than there might be at one of those big box retailers. We're not going to mention names,
right,
but we are going to say that you can come here and you can see much more variety, and that makes your garden such a better place.
Now, somebody might argue, hey, Dave, it might be a little more expensive to buy local.
Right, it is a little more expensive, but think about what you're getting. So not only are you getting really good quality plants, you're getting advice from people who actually live here and care about you being a success in your garden, because they're not just doing a 9-to-5 job that they're going to do for 3 months and then be on their way. They want you to come back. They want you to be a success in gardening, because once you have success with one plant, you're going to want more. And so they're really invested into that. The other, of course, thing is that the plants in a nursery that is a local nursery, they're buying from other local suppliers. So they're going to have plants that are best suited for you. Instead of like a big box retailer, which is going to have a list of 10 plants that you retail all across the country, they're going to become the same boring plants that you see in every parking lot. They're going to have plants that are unique and perfectly adapted to your area. And because they're buying from local growers, they're getting plants that are adapted to your climate.
Right.
Because instead of them coming out of some fancy greenhouse way down in California, they're coming from local Washington growers, so they know these plants are adapted to our winter cold and our summer and our moisture and our winter winds.
Isn't it fair to say, too, that with a local nursery, you're going to develop one-on-one relationships that you're not going to get at your big box retailer?
Exactly, and they're going to know exactly about your neighborhood, because you know that your neighborhood on the south side of town might be a little warmer or a little colder or a little windier than a neighborhood on the north side. And so they know that information, and that makes a huge difference, because if they know, oh yeah, you live on 16th Street, so you have a lot of a nasty wind in the wintertime, so I'm not going to recommend a Japanese maple for you. I'm going to recommend something tougher and hardier.
It's about developing relationships, really.
Exactly, exactly. And once they see you again and again, they know what you will work best in your garden.
What kind of relationships have you had in the past with local nurseries?
Well, I've been a local nurseryman for many years,
right.
And that's the great thing, is that I can go around, and when a customer comes to me, I go, oh yeah, I would say, oh yes, you live on Portola Drive. I know exactly what it's like. That's a little hot spot. You can grow citrus in your area or something like that. And so I can tell them what will do best and say, oh yeah, you get a little frost in the wintertime, so you don't want to try that particular plant,
Dave Egbert, the Coastal Gardener, thanks for being a guest on Northwest Notebook. And we'd like to thank Tony Clark and Bakerview Nursery for supplying the plants. We'll be right back.